Think you know Europe? Think again. These 40 mind-blowing facts will make you question everything you thought was true. From a town where death is illegal to a country with 50,000 islands, Europe is full of surprises. Europe's secrets are wilder than fiction. Stick around until number 1. Trust me, your jaw will drop. Forget the queues for the Eiffel Tower. We're diving into the weird, the wonderful, and the downright bonkers. We'll uncover 40 of the most mind-blowing and unbelievable geography facts. So, are you ready? Fasten your seatbelts. This is going to be a roller coaster ride through Europe's most astonishing geography. And if you're excited to discover more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us for the rest of this incredible journey through Europe's wildest facts. Number 40. Picture this, a town where death is illegal. Sounds like a dystopian movie, right? But it's 100% real, and it's in Longyearbyen, Norway, the world's northernmost settlement, buried deep in the Arctic's Svalbard archipelago. Here's why. The ground is permanently frozen, locking bodies in time. Some corpses still carry the 1918 Spanish flu virus. That's why if you're about to die, you're flown to mainland Norway. Burials are forbidden. And if that's not wild enough, polar bears outnumber people here, so residents must carry guns outside town. Yeah, this place is basically a real-life Game of Thrones meets The Thing. Romania, known for its rolling hills and mysterious forests, also hides one of the continent's weirdest natural wonders, mud volcanoes. When you think volcanoes, you probably picture fiery mountains and rivers of lava. But forget all that for a moment. In Romania's Buzău region, volcanoes are cold, muddy, and totally unique. The Berca mud volcanoes are a protected reserve and a true geological oddity. Instead of lava, these volcanoes ooze thick, mineral-rich mud, pushed up by methane gas from deep underground. It's like the Earth is having a gassy moment. The landscape looks like the moon, cracked, barren, and dotted with bubbling cones. The high salt content means almost nothing grows here. You can walk right up to the mud volcanoes, but be careful. The mud is slippery, and many visitors leave with more than just a photo. Locals call the area the Gates of Hell, a dramatic name for what's really just the planet-breaking wind, but you have to love the flair. Today, thousands visit each year to marvel at this bizarre, bubbling landscape. It's a reminder that nature can be just as funny as it is fascinating. A cold, gassy, muddy volcano, only in Romania. Just one more reason Europe is full of surprises. When you think of Germany, you might picture fast cars, beer, and efficiency. But did you know that nearly 1/3 of the country is covered in forests? That's over 11 million hectares of woodland, making Germany one of the most forested countries in Europe. Germans have a deep love for their woods. It's a national pastime to stroll among the trees. In fact, the tradition of Waldspaziergang, or forest walking, is so ingrained that it's considered essential for well-being. These forests inspired the Brothers Grimm, whose famous fairy tales like Hansel and Gretel and Little Red Riding Hood are set in these mystical woods. For centuries, German forests have been a source of folklore, legends, and even national identity. Today, Germany is a leader in sustainable forestry, with strict laws to protect these green spaces. Over 1.3 million people own private forests, and many areas are designated as nature reserves to preserve biodiversity and natural beauty for future generations. France, land of cheese, wine, and, believe it or not, 12 time zones. That's more than any other country in the world, even beating out Russia. How is this possible? It's all thanks to France's far-flung overseas territories, scattered across the globe from the Caribbean to the Pacific, and even the Indian Ocean. Places like Guadeloupe, Réunion, French Guiana, New Caledonia, and French Polynesia all keep their own local time, making France a truly global nation. This unique legacy dates back to the colonial era, when France established outposts and colonies on nearly every continent. Today, while Parisians sip their evening drinks at a cafe, someone in New Caledonia is just waking up, and in French Guiana, a rocket might be launching into space. The sun literally never sets on the French Republic, making France not just a country, but a worldwide network, a time-bending, croissant-filled wonder. Pretty cool, right? Liechtenstein. Tiny, stunning, and famously doubly landlocked. Nestled between Austria and Switzerland, this alpine microstate is one of the world's smallest countries, covering just over 160 square kilometers. But what really sets Liechtenstein apart is its rare geographical status. It's surrounded entirely by landlocked countries, meaning to reach the ocean, you must cross at least 2 international borders. Only one other country in the world, Uzbekistan, shares this quirky distinction. This makes Liechtenstein the ultimate geographical Russian doll, tucked away in the heart of Europe. Historically, Liechtenstein was established in 1719 as a principality within the Holy Roman Empire, and it has maintained its independence ever since, even surviving the upheavals of the Napoleonic Wars and both World Wars. Despite its small size, Liechtenstein boasts a high standard of living, a strong economy, and a rich cultural heritage. Its unique position has shaped its identity, making it a fascinating blend of Swiss and Austrian influences, with its own royal family and traditions. So next time you look at a map, remember this little alpine nation, doubly landlocked, fiercely independent, and truly one of a kind. Istanbul is the only city in the world that sits on 2 continents, Europe and Asia, divided by the sparkling Bosphorus Strait, a waterway that has shaped its destiny for centuries. This unique geography means you can literally have breakfast in Europe, hop on a ferry, and enjoy lunch in Asia, all in the same city, sometimes within the same hour. Istanbul's daily commute is unlike any other, with millions crossing the Bosphorus by bridge, ferry, or even an underwater metro tunnel, connecting 2 continents as part of their routine. Historically known as Byzantium and later Constantinople, Istanbul has been the capital of 3 empires: Roman, Byzantine, and Ottoman. Its position made it a crossroads of trade, culture, and power for over 2 millennia. Today, Istanbul is a vibrant melting pot, blending European and Asian influences in its food, architecture, and daily life. The city's energy comes from this constant meeting of East and West. Istanbul, where continents collide, cultures intertwine, and every day is an adventure between worlds, making it truly the ultimate commute. Monaco, smaller than Central Park, but packed with more wealth than most countries. This tiny principality on the French Riviera covers just over 2 square kilometers, making it the second smallest country in the world, after Vatican City. You could walk across it in under an hour. In fact, Monaco is so compact that it could fit inside New York's Central Park with room to spare. It's less a country, more an exclusive neighborhood. With a population of around 39,000, nearly a third are millionaires, and the streets are lined with high-end shops, luxury apartments, and world-famous casinos. Yet, it's a tax haven, a playground for billionaires, and a real-life James Bond set. Monaco's no-income tax policy has attracted the world's elite for decades, and its glamorous history includes royal weddings, Formula One races, and movie stars. Monaco proves size doesn't matter if you've got style and money. From the legendary Monte Carlo Casino to the annual Grand Prix, this tiny nation is a symbol of luxury, exclusivity, and timeless allure. Grab your cowboy hat and sangria. Spain isn't just beaches and flamenco. It's home to Europe's only true desert, the Tabernas, located in the sun-drenched province of Almeria, Andalusia. This arid landscape, with its dramatic rock formations and endless stretches of sand, receives less than 250 millimeters of rain a year, making it the driest place on the continent. But the Tabernas is more than just a natural wonder, it's a piece of cinematic history. In the 1960s and 70s, this desert became the backdrop for legendary spaghetti westerns, including classics like A Fistful of Dollars and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Directors flocked here for the wild, untamed scenery, and Clint Eastwood's iconic squint under the Spanish sun became a symbol of the genre. Today you can still visit the old film sets, some of which have been preserved as theme parks, and imagine the days when Hollywood's Wild West was actually Andalusia. A wild cinematic slice of the Wild West, right in southern Spain. Absolutely marvelous. Welcome to the Czech Republic, where castles are everywhere, over 2,000 of them. This small country boasts the highest density of castles in the world, a testament to its turbulent and fascinating history. From grand palaces to crumbling ruins, it's a fairy tale landscape of moats, battlements, and spires peeking over the trees. Every corner tells a story: Gothic fortresses, romantic chateaux, and ancient walls. Many of these castles were built during the Middle Ages, when Bohemia was a powerful kingdom and needed to defend itself from invaders. Over centuries, noble families competed to build ever more impressive residences, leaving behind a legacy of architectural wonders. From Prague Castle, the largest ancient castle complex in the world, to the tiniest hilltop ruin, each fortress has witnessed centuries of intrigue, war, and royal drama. Today, these castles are not just relics. They host festivals, concerts, and even weddings, making the Czech Republic a true kingdom of castles, and we're absolutely here for it. Finland, famous for its saunas, snowy landscapes, and quirky movements, has a geography fact that surprises many. There's only one country separating Finland from North Korea, and that's Russia, the world's largest nation and a true geopolitical buffer zone. If you were to travel in a straight line from Helsinki to Pyongyang, you'd cross just one border: Russia's vast expanse, stretching over 9,000 kilometers from Europe to East Asia. Historically, Finland and Russia have shared a complex relationship, from wars and shifting borders to uneasy peace during the Cold War. Today, the Finnish-Russian border is one of the longest in Europe, and it's a reminder of how close Finland is to the heart of Asia. Geography really does play tricks on us, and sometimes the world is much smaller than it seems. Welcome to Stromboli, Italy's most dramatic island, rising steeply from the Tyrrhenian Sea just north of Sicily. Stromboli is one of the world's most active volcanoes, erupting almost continuously for over 2,000 years. Its regular explosions, known as Strombolian eruptions, are so distinctive that volcanologists named the phenomenon after this very island. Night after night, the volcano's fiery glow lights up the Mediterranean, creating a natural beacon that has guided sailors since ancient Greek and Roman times, earning Stromboli the nickname Lighthouse of the Mediterranean. Amazingly, about 500 people call Stromboli home, living in small villages nestled at the volcano's base. Generations have adapted to the constant rumble and occasional ashfall, developing unique traditions and a resilient way of life. Today, visitors from around the world come to witness Stromboli's endless fireworks, whether from a boat offshore or by hiking up its slopes. Experiencing this living volcano is to see one of nature's most spectacular and enduring shows, a true marvel of Europe. In the small Norwegian town of Rjukan, waterfalls don't always obey the rules of gravity. Here, powerful winds surge up the steep valley cliffs, sometimes so strong that they blast the falling water right back upwards, creating the surreal illusion of waterfalls flowing in reverse. This natural phenomenon is most common in spring, when melting snow swells the rivers and the valley acts like a giant wind tunnel. Rjukan's unique geography, nestled deep between towering mountains, amplifies these gusts, making the spectacle even more dramatic. Historically, the area's wild waterfalls were so impressive that they inspired the construction of one of Europe's first major hydroelectric plants in the early 1900s, powering Norway's industrial revolution. Today, visitors flock to Rjukan not just for its engineering marvels, but to witness nature's ultimate party trick, waterfalls that seem to defy gravity itself. It's absolutely fabulous, a little bit bonkers, and a reminder of just how unpredictable our planet can be. From windswept waterfalls to something spooky, let's visit Slovenia's Lake Crnica, the lake that breathes. Nestled in the mysterious karst region, this lake has fascinated locals and scientists for centuries. This ghostly lake appears and vanishes, the largest in the country one day, gone the next. Its unique behavior is due to the porous limestone landscape, riddled with sinkholes and underground rivers. It drains through underground caves, like a giant bathtub when someone pulls the plug. The phenomenon is called a polje, a flat-floored depression in karst terrain that floods seasonally. The land seems to breathe, inhale in autumn, exhale in spring. This cycle has inspired legends and puzzled naturalists since the 1600s, even appearing in the writings of the famous polymath Johann Weichard von Valvassor. Locals adapt, fishing when it's full, farming when it's gone. Over generations, they've learned to read the rhythms of the lake, making the most of its ever-changing landscape. A ghostly marvel, Slovenia's magical vanishing lake. Today it's a haven for rare wildlife and a symbol of nature's mysteries, drawing visitors from around the world to witness its breathtaking transformation. The Danube, Europe's second longest river, performs a disappearing act in Germany's Swabian Jura, a region famous for its unique geology. For more than 150 days each year, the river's water vanishes underground, seeping through the porous limestone bedrock. This natural phenomenon is called a karst spring, and it's been puzzling locals and scientists for centuries. The water travels through a network of underground caves and tunnels, eventually re-emerging as the Ochtopf Spring, the largest in Germany. But here's the twist. Instead of returning to the Danube, the water joins the Radolfzeller Ach and flows toward the Rhine, meaning some of the Danube's water never reaches the Black Sea. This vanishing act has been documented since the Middle Ages, and even today, it's a real-life river magic trick. Now you see it, now you don't. Get your phones out, no filter needed. We're heading to Spain's Salinas de Torrevieja, a lake so fabulously pink it looks like Barbie's dream come to life. But this isn't just a trick of the light or a clever Instagram filter. The lake's bubblegum hue is all thanks to a special type of algae called Dunaliella salina, which thrives in the super salty water. When the sun shines, these algae produce a red pigment to protect themselves, turning the entire lake a surreal shade of pink. The effect is even more dramatic in summer, when the water evaporates and the salt concentration rises. But there's more to this lake than just its looks. Salinas de Torrevieja has been a center for salt production since the 13th century, and you can still see massive white salt piles along the shore. The area is also a haven for wildlife, especially flamingos, who love the salty, algae-rich waters. So whether you're a photographer, a history buff, or a nature lover, this Spanish wonder is a must-see. Spain, you're just showing off. Hold on to your hats. This is wild. Deep underground in Romania lies Movile Cave, a place that's been completely sealed off from the outside world for over 5 million years. Discovered by accident in 1986 near the Black Sea, Movile Cave is one of the most isolated and extreme environments on Earth. The air inside is toxic, with high levels of hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide and very little oxygen, just about a third of what we breathe on the surface. Yet, against all odds, the cave is teeming with life. Scientists have found over 50 species here, most of them found nowhere else on the planet. These bizarre blind creatures, like unique spiders, centipedes, and leeches, have adapted to total darkness and toxic air. Instead of sunlight, life here survives on chemosynthetic bacteria, which use chemicals from the rocks and water to produce energy. This makes Movile Cave one of the few known ecosystems on Earth that doesn't rely on the sun. The cave remains tightly restricted to protect its fragile ecosystem, making it the ultimate gated community. Fascinating, but I'll stick to the surface, thanks. Iceland is a land of fire and ice, but in 1963 it truly outdid itself. Just off the southern coast, a violent volcanic eruption burst from the sea, spewing ash and lava high into the air. Over the course of just a few days, a brand new island emerged from the ocean, Surtsey. Named after Surtur, a fire giant from Norse mythology, Surtsey quickly captured the world's imagination. Scientists from around the globe rushed to the site, eager to study how life colonizes a completely new land. Surtsey became a living laboratory, strictly protected so researchers could observe the arrival of the first seeds, insects, birds, and even seals, watching an entire ecosystem develop from scratch. Nature's surprise party indeed, an island born before our very eyes, offering a rare glimpse into the origins of life itself. Gather round for a real head-scratcher. Pheasant Island, a tiny patch of land in the Bidasoa River between France and Spain, is the only place in the world that swaps nationalities every 6 months. From February to July, it's Spanish territory, Ole, and from August to January, it's French, Sacre Bleu. This unique arrangement is called a condominium, where two countries share sovereignty. The tradition dates back to the Treaty of the Pyrenees in 1659, which ended a long war between France and Spain. The island was chosen as neutral ground for the treaty signing, and ever since, it's been passed back and forth in a peaceful ritual. Today, only officials are allowed to set foot on Pheasant Island, making it one of the world's most exclusive and peaceful places, quietly swapping passports, flags, and caretakers twice a year as a living symbol of international cooperation and quirky diplomacy. Hold on to your hats, there's barely time to put one on. We're in Scotland's Orkney Islands, where you'll find the world's shortest scheduled passenger flight. This tiny hop, operated by Loganair, connects the islands of Westray and Papa Westray, a distance of just 1.7 miles or 2.7 kilometers. The flight often takes less than a minute, with the record for the fastest crossing standing at just 53 seconds. But this isn't just a quirky record breaker. Since its first run in 1967, the route has been a vital lifeline for locals, connecting remote communities, schools, and even archaeological sites. For many, it's the only practical way to travel between the islands, especially during rough weather when ferries can't run. The plane itself is usually a Britain-Norman Islander, seating just 8 passengers. Fun fact, the safety briefing can actually outlast the flight itself. Over the years, this route has become a bucket list experience for aviation enthusiasts and travelers from around the world. It's a unique blend of necessity and novelty, up, over, and down before you know it. Blink, and you'll truly miss it. Deep in western Poland, near the town of Gryfino, lies the Crooked Forest, an extraordinary grove where around 400 pine trees all bend sharply to the north, forming a surreal J-shaped pattern that has baffled visitors and scientists alike for decades. Planted in the early 1930s, these trees grew normally for several years before mysteriously curving at the base. Some believe local farmers intentionally manipulated the trunks to create naturally curved timber for furniture or shipbuilding, a practice seen elsewhere in Europe. Others suggest a heavy snowfall or a unique weather event when the trees were saplings could have caused the odd shapes, while some even whisper about supernatural forces at play. Despite many theories, the true reason remains a mystery, making the Crooked Forest one of Europe's most enchanting and puzzling natural wonders. A living riddle that continues to inspire curiosity and awe. Hold on to your hard hats. We're about to journey into the depths of Veryovkina Cave, the deepest known cave on Earth, tucked away in the Arabica Massif of Abkhazia, Georgia. This cave is a true marvel of nature and a testament to human curiosity and courage. Veryovkina Cave plunges to a staggering depth of over 2,200 meters, more than 2 kilometers, straight down into the earth. That's deeper than any other cave ever explored, earning it the nickname the Everest of Caves. To put that in perspective, imagine stacking 6 Eiffel Towers on top of each other and then burying them underground. That's how deep this cave goes. The cave was first discovered in 1968, but it wasn't until 2018 that Russian explorers reached its record-breaking depth. Only the bravest speleologists dare to venture here, navigating a labyrinth of darkness, underground rivers, waterfalls, and impossibly tight squeezes. Deep below, they discover a pristine, hidden world, utterly mysterious, filled with rare cave life, unique minerals, and breathtaking rock formations that have never seen the light of day. It's a place where time seems to stand still, and every expedition uncovers new scientific wonders. But you won't catch me down there. I'd miss the gossip, the coffee, and honestly, I prefer my adventures above ground. Welcome to Rjukan, Norway, a town nestled so deep in its narrow valley that for nearly half the year, the sun disappears behind the towering mountains. Founded in the early 1900s as an industrial hub for the Norsk Hydro Company, Rjukan's unique geography meant its residents endured 6 long months of shadow every winter. But the people of Rjukan didn't just accept the darkness. For decades, they dreamed of bringing sunlight to their town, even building a cable car in 1928 so residents could ride up the mountain and catch a glimpse of the sun. In 2013, after years of planning and inspiration from a similar project in Italy, Rjukan installed 3 massive computer-controlled mirrors, called heliostats, on the mountainside. These mirrors track the sun's movement and reflect its rays down into the heart of the town. Now, even in the depths of winter, Rjukan basks in a glorious pool of light in its town square, a brilliant, innovative solution to a century-old problem. The mirrors have become a symbol of hope and ingenuity, drawing visitors from around the world to witness this modern marvel. Alright, now for something a little bit eerie. We're heading east into Russia's vast countryside where thousands of villages stand empty, silent reminders of a mass migration after the Soviet Union's collapse. In the 1990s, as the economy shifted and collective farms dissolved, millions left rural areas for cities seeking work and opportunity. Today, it's estimated that over 20,000 Russian villages have no permanent residents at all. These abandoned settlements, with their crumbling wooden houses and overgrown paths, are hauntingly beautiful, but deeply melancholic. They stand as a testament to a changing world, a land of immense beauty and immense silent emptiness. Hold on to your hats! Germany's Andernach geyser is the world's tallest cold-water geyser, shooting water up to 60 meters into the air. Discovered in 1903 during drilling for mineral water, this natural wonder is powered not by heat, but by carbon dioxide trapped underground. When the pressure builds, the gas forces water up in a spectacular fizzy eruption. Think of it as Earth's own SodaStream in action. Unlike Yellowstone's famous hot geysers, Andernach's show is refreshingly cool and erupts like clockwork every 2 hours, making it a favorite for tourists and science lovers alike. The site even has a dedicated visitor center, where you can learn about the unique geology and history behind this bubbly phenomenon. It's a fizzy geological prank that's been delighting crowds for over a century, and honestly, who doesn't love that? Meet San Marino, a tiny cliffside country completely surrounded by Italy and officially the world's oldest surviving republic. Founded way back in the year 301 by a stonemason named Marinus fleeing religious persecution, San Marino has outlasted empires, popes, and invaders for over 1,700 years. Its secret? Staying small, stubborn, and nearly impossible to conquer, perched high atop Mount Titano, with steep cliffs acting as natural defenses. Through the centuries, San Marino managed to keep its independence by skillfully navigating European politics, even when Napoleon and Mussolini came knocking. Today, it's a quirky microstate with its own government, coins, and stamps, and a population of just over 30,000. The ultimate geopolitical ninja, quiet, resilient, and still standing. The most serene republic indeed, absolutely marvelous. Germany's back for a hat trick. This time, we're heading to a place shaped by forces from beyond our planet. Welcome to Nordlingen, a fairy tale Bavarian town with medieval walls and gingerbread houses, built inside a massive meteor crater. About 15 million years ago, a meteorite struck here, creating the 25-kilometer-wide Nordlinger Ries. For centuries, locals had no idea their town's cosmic origins. St. George's Church was built from suovite, a glittery rock formed by the impact. In the 1960s, geologists proved the town sits in a meteor crater. The impact created millions of tiny diamonds embedded in the town's stones. Nordlingen, a town built on stardust and diamonds, where every step is a walk through cosmic history. When you think of rainforests, you probably picture monkeys in the Amazon or colorful frogs in Costa Rica. But did you know Europe has its own secret rainforest? Deep in Bosnia and Herzegovina lies Perusica, one of the last remaining primeval rainforests in Europe, untouched for thousands of years. This UNESCO-protected forest covers about 14 square kilometers and is part of the Sutjeska National Park, the oldest national park in Bosnia. Some of the trees here are over 300 years old, and the forest itself is believed to be at least 20,000 years old, dating back to the last ice age. It's wild, ancient, and home to the breathtaking Skakavac waterfall, which plunges 75 meters down a sheer cliff. The forest shelters hundreds of plant species, rare fungi, and elusive animals, making it a living museum of biodiversity. Access is strictly controlled to protect its fragile ecosystem, and only a handful of visitors are allowed each year, often accompanied by guides or researchers. Perusica is not just a natural wonder, it's a reminder of Europe's wild past, preserved in the heart of the Balkans. Europe's best-kept secret, right in the heart of the Balkans, waiting to be discovered by those who seek the truly wild. From the heights of a rainforest to the depths of the unknown, welcome to the Czech Republic's Hranice Abyss, the world's deepest underwater cave. Nestled in the Moravian region, this mysterious chasm has fascinated explorers and scientists for centuries. Divers and robots have tried to find its bottom, but it just keeps going, over 400 meters deep and still no end in sight. In 2016, a remotely operated underwater vehicle set a new record, reaching 404 meters. But even then, the true depth remained elusive. The abyss is filled with mineral-rich, crystal-clear water, making exploration both beautiful and dangerous. Its unique geology is shaped by centuries of acidic groundwater dissolving the limestone, creating a vertical shaft that plunges into darkness. It's a watery enigma, a true mystery box, silently challenging us to discover its secrets. Legends once claimed it was bottomless, and even today, its full depth remains one of Europe's greatest natural mysteries. Bravo, Czech Republic! You've given us a bottomless wonder, a sight that continues to inspire awe, curiosity, and the spirit of adventure. Welcome to Svalbard, a remote Norwegian archipelago deep within the Arctic Circle, where the ground remains frozen solid all year round due to continuous permafrost. Because of this, traditional burials have been banned since 1950. Bodies interred here don't decompose. They're preserved almost perfectly by the permafrost, and in some cases, they've even resurfaced after the ground thaws during rare warm spells. In fact, scientists discovered that bodies buried during the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic still contained live virus particles, raising concerns about the potential for ancient diseases to re-emerge from the frozen earth. This is one reason why dying in Svalbard is strongly discouraged. If you're terminally ill, you're required to leave the island. Today, Svalbard is famous for its breathtaking Arctic beauty, unique wildlife, and as the home of the global seed vault. But while it's a fascinating place to visit, it's absolutely no place to die. Hold on to your hats. We're off to Serbia's Devil's Town, a place that looks straight out of a horror film. Nestled in the Raden Mountains, this eerie site is one of Serbia's most famous natural wonders. Over 200 bizarre rock towers, called Earth Pyramids, stand like a petrified wedding party. At least, that's what local legend says. The story goes that the devil tried to trick villagers into marrying siblings, and when they prayed for help, the wedding guests were turned to stone. But science has a different explanation. These formations are the result of intense erosion over thousands of years, where rain and wind carved the soft soil, leaving behind these spooky, towering sculptures topped with harder rock hats. Even the streams here run devilishly red, colored by high concentrations of iron and other minerals. Devil's Town is not just a geological marvel. It's a blend of folklore, history, and science, all in one weird, wonderful spot that's been protected as a natural monument since 1959. Welcome to Setenil de las Bodegas, Spain, a town literally built under a giant rock. Nestled in the province of Cadiz, this unique village is famous for its homes and streets tucked beneath massive stone overhangs. Here, homes and streets are carved right into the limestone cliffs. The town's architecture dates back to the Moorish period, when people first began using the natural rock as both shelter and fortification. Walk down the street and you'll find a ceiling of solid stone above you. The rock acts as a natural roof, protecting the town from the harsh Andalusian sun and even from rain. The rock provides natural shade, nature's own air conditioning. Temperatures under the overhang can be several degrees cooler than in the open, making it a perfect refuge during hot summers. Locals sip coffee under a boulder, perfectly at home. The town's unique geography has even influenced its cuisine, with many restaurants and bars built right into the rock, offering traditional Andalusian dishes. It's unforgettable. Architectural genius or tempting fate. Setenil's origins date back to Roman times, and its name comes from septem nihil, meaning 7 times nothing, a nod to the town's legendary resistance to conquest. Today, it stands as a testament to human ingenuity and adaptation. You decide. Here's a fact that might make you want to move right now. Imagine a place where you can enjoy the outdoors without ever hearing that dreaded mosquito whine. Iceland is famous for its volcanoes, glaciers, geysers, and bjork. But it's also a land where the air is clean, the nature is untouched, and there are absolutely no mosquitoes. That's right. Not a single mosquito has ever established a population here. You can hike, picnic, and camp in Iceland without ever reaching for bug spray. For Icelanders, a summer evening without buzzing insects is just normal life. You can sleep with your windows open and wake up refreshed. No itchy bites, no slapping yourself in the night. Most Icelandic stores don't even sell mosquito repellent. There's simply no need. The people of Iceland are living in a blissful, bite-free paradise, and it's a point of pride for many locals. So why is Iceland mosquito-free? The answer is its wild, unpredictable climate. The freeze-thaw cycle is so chaotic that mosquito larvae can't survive. Water bodies freeze and thaw so often that the larvae never get a chance to mature. Even in summer, the conditions are never quite right for mosquitoes to thrive. So while the rest of us battle mosquitoes, Icelanders just enjoy the outdoors, peacefully. Just imagine, a summer night in Iceland, marveling at the peace and quiet, and realizing that sometimes, the best things in life are the things you don't have to deal with at all. The UK may look like a modest island, but its global footprint is massive. 17 territories scattered worldwide, from sunny Caribbean beaches to windswept Falklands and Gibraltar's rocky cliffs. These British overseas territories are the last remnants of an empire that once covered a quarter of the world's land and population. Today, places like Bermuda, the Cayman Islands, and the British Virgin Islands still fly the Union Jack, while Gibraltar remains a strategic gateway to the Mediterranean. Even in far-flung spots like the Pitcairn Islands in the Pacific or the icy expanse of South Georgia, British law, culture, and traditions linger. English is often the official language, British-style education and legal systems persist, And you might even find red phone booths or afternoon tea in the tropics. It's less an empire now, more a global lost and found, with British souvenirs and influence popping up in the most unexpected corners of the world. Welcome to Poland's Słowinski National Park, a UNESCO biosphere reserve, famous for its ever-shifting sand dunes along the Baltic coast. These dunes are not just a natural wonder, they're a living, moving landscape that has fascinated scientists and travelers for centuries. The colossal dunes, some towering over 40 meters high, are constantly on the move, advancing up to 10 meters each year, driven by powerful coastal winds. This relentless movement creates a dynamic environment where the landscape is never the same from one year to the next. As the dunes migrate inland, they swallow entire forests and even remnants of old villages, leaving behind ghostly, half-buried trees and structures, a haunting reminder of nature's unstoppable force. The Słowinski Dunes have inspired legends and stories for generations, and today they attract visitors from around the world. It's dramatic, beautiful, and a little bit spooky, Poland's very own wandering desert shaped by time, wind, and history. Welcome to Barl-Nassau and Barl-Hertog, two towns that create one of the world's most mind-boggling borders. Here, the line between the Netherlands and Belgium zigzags through streets, homes, and even living rooms. This strange border dates back to medieval land swaps, resulting in a patchwork of enclaves. Barl-Nassau is Dutch, Barl-Hertog is Belgian, but there are 22 Belgian enclaves inside the Netherlands, and 7 Dutch enclaves within those. Some houses are split between countries. Your nationality depends on where your front door is, Dutch or Belgian, which can even affect which laws you follow. The border is marked with white crosses, and the towns have 2 mayors, 2 emergency services, and different tax rates, sometimes just meters apart. Barl is a symbol of peaceful coexistence and creative problem-solving, a living geopolitical jigsaw puzzle that fascinates visitors worldwide. Tucked away in North Macedonia is Lake Ohrid, Europe's oldest and one of the world's most ancient lakes, often called the Jurassic Park of lakes. At an astonishing 4 million years old, Lake Ohrid is a living time capsule, preserving a unique ecosystem that has survived countless ice ages and geological changes. The lake is home to over 200 endemic species, including rare fish and ancient mollusks found nowhere else on Earth. Its crystal-clear waters have inspired legends and supported civilizations for millennia, with the historic town of Ohrid on its shores boasting ancient monasteries, Roman amphitheaters, and cobblestone streets. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Lake Ohrid is not just a natural wonder, but a cradle of culture and history. Whether you swim, sail, or simply sit by its ancient shores, you're connecting with a world that predates humanity itself, a reminder of nature's enduring power and beauty. Now that's perspective. Hold on to your hats and scarves, because we're heading to Ust-Shugar, Russia, the coldest spot in all of Europe. Nestled deep in the Komi Republic, this tiny village sits near the Ural Mountains, marking the border between Europe and Asia. In 1978, Ust-Shugar made history when temperatures plummeted to a bone-chilling minus 58.1 degrees Celsius, Europe's coldest ever recorded. That's colder than many places in Siberia. At these temperatures, your breath doesn't just fog up, it freezes mid-air, forming tiny ice crystals. Even boiling water tossed outside transforms instantly into a cloud of snow, a phenomenon known as the Mpemba effect. Despite these brutal winters, people have called Ust-Shugar home for generations. Locals rely on fur-lined clothing, wood-burning stoves, and age-old survival skills to endure months of darkness and snow. Next time you shiver, remember Ust-Shugar, a place where winter truly rewrites the rules of cold. Spain is renowned for its endless stretches of golden coastline, but tucked away in the lush region of Asturias lies a truly unique marvel, Playa de Gulpiyuri, officially recognized as the world's smallest beach. What makes it even more astonishing is that it's located over 100 meters inland, far from the open sea. This tiny, landlocked cove is a geological wonder, formed thousands of years ago when the powerful waves of the Cantabrian Sea eroded underground tunnels through the limestone cliffs. Seawater travels through these hidden passageways, filling the sandy hollow with crystal-clear water, and even creating real tides, just like a regular beach. Measuring only about 40 meters in length, Playa de Gulpiyuri has fascinated locals and travelers for centuries. It's a protected natural monument and a favorite spot for those seeking something truly off the beaten path. This quirky, hidden gem is living proof that nature loves a good surprise, and sometimes the sea can end up exactly where you least expect it. Hold on to your hats. Next stop, Svalbard, Norway, a remote Arctic archipelago where polar bears actually outnumber people. Svalbard sits halfway between mainland Norway and the North Pole, and its harsh, icy environment has shaped both its wildlife and its human history. Forget nosy neighbors. Here your main worry is bumping into a polar bear on your way to the shops. With around 2,500 people and an estimated 3,000 polar bears, it's the ultimate power imbalance. Residents are legally required to carry rifles outside settlements for protection. Polar bears are powerful predators, and encounters can be dangerous. This law dates back decades, after several incidents highlighted the risks of living alongside these Arctic giants. Despite the risks, Svalbard attracts adventurers and scientists from around the world, drawn by its unique wildlife and stunning polar landscapes. Smile and wave, folks. Smile and wave. Just keep an eye out for your furry, four-legged roommates. Number 1. Finland, the land of saunas, Santa Claus, and some of the world's happiest people. But did you know Finland is also home to a jaw-dropping 50,000 islands? That's right, 50,000 islands scattered along its beautiful coastline, making Finland's archipelago one of the largest on Earth. To put it in perspective, that's more islands than the Philippines or Indonesia. Only Sweden and Norway come close in Europe, but Finland still takes the crown. The Finnish archipelago stretches from the Gulf of Bothnia to the Gulf of Finland, with islands ranging from tiny, rocky skerries to lush, forested escapes. Many Finns have summer cottages on these islands, passed down through generations. In summer, families flock to their island retreats for fishing, swimming, and sauna sessions. Some islands are so remote, the only sign of life is a mailbox. Others are perfect for solitude, inspiring artists and writers for centuries. So if you ever crave true peace and quiet, remember, Finland has nearly 50,000 islands, each with its own story, and maybe your own slice of paradise. Just don't forget your boat. And that's a wrap. Our whirlwind journey across Europe comes to a close, at least for now. We've met rifle-toting Norwegians in Svalbard, where polar bears nearly outnumber people, and carrying protection is a must. And we've marveled at Finland's archipelago, the world's largest, with over 50,000 islands shaped by glaciers and seafaring history. Thank you for joining me on this wild ride. Your curiosity makes every journey special. I hope your mind is blown, or at least a little impressed. Europe never fails to surprise. The conversation doesn't end here. Share your favorite fact or your own discoveries in the comments. If you enjoyed this trip, show some love, hit like, and ring the bell for more. Thanks for your company. Stay curious, keep exploring, and see you soon for more amazing European stories. And don't forget, subscribe so you never miss an adventure. Until next time, happy exploring.